Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I wanted tonight to address some accusations that have been made to me by this man. His name is John Sinclair, and you can see the full list of allegations that he's made at the blog liarspluslosers.blogspot.ca. For your information, yes, he did misspell the word plus. There are 2 L's in it. Okay? Everything is listed there. He has accused me, among other things, of defamation and cyberbullying. So I want to tell my side of the story. All of you will, of course, remember the floods from last year and how they afflicted us here on the West Island in particular. It was horrible. People were losing their homes, they were losing their businesses, but by the same right, it was a call to action for the community. And the community really did come together and help each other out. One resource in particular that was used a fair bit by a lot of people was a Facebook group known by the name of West Island Watch. Now, on West Island Watch, one day in May 10th to be exact, someone had made a post saying that she had found this other Facebook page called the West Island Roll of Honor Heroes, and that she made a request there and that the administrator of the page was addressing her very aggressively. I happen to be one of the first people to have seen that post, so I went and I checked the page out. And sure enough, the page did say that the goal was to have a page that would post the names of any hero you know who helped during the flood of 2017. Any age, any type of help. So this person was looking at collecting a lot of names and apparently not validating them at all. They just want to get the list of names. He then says the goal would be a monument and a plaque at Fairview. In my mind, he's now baiting people, preparing them for the concept that he might be asking them for money at some time. You can't put a monument up unless you raise some money towards it. And then he goes on to say that parents could show their kids their names, some could add it to their resume, and add it to school applications. To me, this is him trying to add some type of very questionable validity to why you would have this name. Then he tops it all off with, in addition, we will be looking for corporate appreciation, so heroes can be honored by a free coffee or breakfast sandwich to deal on airlines and car purchases or a t-shirt. I've never tried using a breakfast sandwich as a negotiation strategy for getting a new car, but maybe I should be considering this according to him. If nothing else, you folks have to see that it's not well written here. It's not really clear what the goal of collecting all these names is. When I started going through the visitor comments, and I saw him start to act very aggressively towards people. If anyone submitted less than 10 names, he would call them absurd and call it ridiculous and mock them for expecting him to add only a single name. Well, it was so bad, I really thought that this was a Facebook scam. I thought it was a donation scam where he would start approaching people and asking them to support whatever endeavor. And it could potentially scam people out of tens of thousands of dollars. So I decided that I would at very least comment. I would review the page, and I gave it 1 star. And basically I said that something was very fishy and that the whole thing reeks of being a scam. And that's something I honestly believe. Now, I did add a comment down there at the bottom. Please do not post to this page. The admin is aggressive and perhaps mentally unstable. Do not engage. I added that not immediately. Okay, that was added several days later after several interactions with him. I didn't make that accusation lightly at all. Nonetheless, it made the news. Dan Inspector from Global News filed a report on May 12th. And in this report, he interviewed me and cybersecurity expert Terry Cutler. Terry did a great job explaining just how a scam like this could work. And I reflected that if it's not a scam, he's really not going about things the right way. Well, that's what really set Mr. Sinclair off. He started texting me, direct messaging me that night. At one point he said, see my replies in global comments, which, by the way, you can't do anymore because he deleted them all. Do I think anything you say matters? Beg on your knees, you sick, ugly man. Time to go public, big time. So I told him, go ahead. And the next day he published his blog. Now this blog in itself, as it started, was not so bad. But later in the day, he did actually make postings on the page that told me that when he would come to Montreal this next summer, maybe he would visit me with his Sicilian friends, and have them watch the door while they work, have them watch the door while he worked me over, because he's 6'4", or that maybe he would just have his ex-girlfriend, who was a sharpshooter, take me out. That's when I blocked him on all social media. That was May 15th of last year. The blog has grown now to 143 pages long. I am mentioned in it 205 times. Terry is mentioned in it numerous times. He wants Dan Spector fired from Global News, and he has threatened to sue all of us. Well, he's pitching around the number of $125,000 apiece, but said that he might let it go for a $25,000 out-of-court settlement. I've done my best to move on, but he continues to stalk me. He has found my contest winnings here at the Point Claire Toastmasters. He found out where I work, and he does call me a local Point Claire Toastmaster award winner and regional mouse and puppy cage test torturer salesman. He has emailed me at my work. He has emailed my employer. He is copying me on emails to Global News, and he has even contacted my company through our web form. And that's why I want to tell you folks about him, because there's a chance that he might contact some of you Point Claire Toastmasters. But I still think that I did the right thing and stood up for what I thought could be a scam. I'm more than happy to take any questions that you guys might have. By the way, you notice I did hand out a copy of the report, the article. Yes, Sandra?
Did you take any legal action against him?
I did go to the SPVM. I went to the Montreal Police. They can't do anything about it because he is simply too far out of their jurisdiction. He actually lives in Vancouver now. I could go to the RCMP and claim that he is cyberbullying me, but I'm a grown adult. They don't take that type of thing very seriously when it's between two adults like that.
But he threatened to kill you.
He did threaten me, and I reported that post to Facebook, but unfortunately I didn't think to screen capture that. So now, in order for the RCMP to even do anything about it, they would have to file a court junction to get it. So it's a lot involved with getting him to do that. Yes, Sasha?
Yeah, so in a scenario like this, let's say you would have just not replied at all and you told everybody just don't answer, don't reply, if there's no reaction.
So I have severed all contact with him since May 15th. This is now 9 months later, and it continues. Terry did actually offer him an apology, and he said, I'll think about it. Then he asked you for money, I believe, and then finally said, no, okay, fine, I'll forgive you, but has never taken him on his blog and continues to highlight Terry's name along with mine and Dan's.
And got it wrong, too.
And gets his name wrong and my wrong name as well.
Why did you offer an apology?
Because what happened was, he wanted an apology, so I said, look, I apologize for any harm I may have caused you. It was very, very vague, because I was commenting on the blog post itself, not necessarily him himself. Because it's really a scam, like you said.
I should probably make it clear, too, that I've never actually accused him outright of being a scam artist. I said it looks like a scam. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and it's not a duck, then stand up and say, hey, I'm not a duck. I'm sorry if I look like a duck and quack like a duck. This is why I did it. And he didn't do that. Yeah, sorry, Chris. Oh, sorry, Chris, yes.
Does he have supporters outside? Like, obviously, you know, you've encountered him, but does he have a group of supporters behind him, or is he like a one-man?
He claims to have support from the Queen Mother, and God himself, and on up. The creative writing that goes out in this guy's CV is absolutely astonishing. He claims supporters, but everyone that he lists as a reference is either dead or absolutely unreachable. So no, there have been, I believe that on his blog there have been 2 people who vocally supported him, but only after some other issues have taken place. Other than that, nothing. Sorry?
They had the same IP addresses as him when they vocally supported
You
him?
kind of wonder. So you were next, yes.
So given your experience here, and obviously online there's a lot of cyberbullying and trolling and all that, what would be your advice to others, given what you've experienced, going forward when this situation happens, to avoid it getting to?
Well, like I said, I'm a big fan of people actually speaking out, and I encourage you all to do that. But lock down your Facebook profile. Make sure that everything is as private as you can make it. Make sure that only your friends see your information. Make sure that you do that on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. Limit how much information you put out there. And probably the biggest mistake that I made with this fellow was actually engaging him when he sent me the direct messages. I should have ignored those ones completely, and maybe that would have helped. So, and I think I have time for one more, so Richard, yeah.
Did you do it again?
in a heartbeat. Absolutely no two ways about it. I feel good actually because this man is obviously unstable, and had he collected all these names, God only knows what he might have done with them. God only knows how he might have taken it out on some of these other people. At least I have shoulders broad enough and thick skin enough to go ahead and take whatever he's throwing at me. But that's it. So yeah, Terry.
So I actually reached out to RCMP and reported this blog, and Mayor, I can't deny or confirm that the police actually showed up at his house.
Yes.
That's why he mentioned that in the blog. But it's free speech. So until a crime actually commits, the cops won't do anything about it. That's the problem.
I have had a private investigator look into him as well, and a lawyer on top of that. By the way, there's no lawyer action I could take. We could send a cease and desist letter, but he could completely ignore that. There's nothing to make him listen to it. And the lawyer said that apparently he has been sued many times for similar types of things. I know that he has something going against an actors union in BC right now, and I am far from the first person to fall onto his radar. He's going to continue doing this. Like I say, he might reach out to the people at the Point Claire Toastmasters. If he does, please let me know and just block him in any way at all possible. I have no idea if and when this will ever end, but thank you very much for your time.